All right, let's get right into it. OpenAI just dropped what might be the biggest AI update of the year. It's a brand new model, GPT-5, and trust me, this is not just another small step forward. We're talking about a fundamental shift that's about to change the game for literally everyone, from developers to casual users. So let's break it down. You really want to understand just how big of a leap this is? You have to start with this quote from Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO. He said that while testing it, he felt useless relative to the AI. I mean, wow, that is a wild thing for a CEO to say. It tells you we're not just talking about a better chatbot. We're talking about a level of AI capability that's so advanced, it basically closes the gap between a human idea and a finished product. So what really makes GPT-5 so different? Well, the core idea here is a complete shakeup of how these AI models even work. It's not about being, a little bit smarter or a tad faster. It's about totally rethinking how we interact with AI from the ground up. Okay, so at the heart of all this is something they're calling the unified model. Now, up until today, you always had to make a trade-off, right? You either used a quick, zippy model for simple stuff, or you switched to a slow, heavy-duty model for the really tough reasoning tasks. GPT-5 completely gets rid of that choice. It has this built-in router that decides in real time exactly how much power your request needs. Think of it like a car that's a Ferrari on the highway but instantly becomes a Prius in city traffic, all on its own. The days of choosing between speed and smarts, they're over. But, talk is cheap. Let's get into the hard numbers, because this is where GPT-5 really flexes its muscles and proves it's on a whole other level. And honestly, some of these metrics are just staggering. Let's start with coding. On the SWE bench, and this is the gold standard for testing an AI's ability to solve real-world coding problems, GPT-5 scores a massive 74.9%. That score doesn't just put it on the leaderboard, it blasts it to the very top. It is, without a doubt, the new king of AI-powered coding. Now, this next number, this is huge for anyone who actually wants to use AI for serious work. We're looking at a 76% reduction in hallucinations compared to GPT-4o. That's an enormous leap in reliability. It means way fewer made-up facts, less buggy code, and an AI you can finally start to trust with complex, high-stakes work. And it's not just a generalist. Its power in specialized fields is just as mind-blowing. In medicine, for example, it's showing an 87% improvement in accuracy. The hallucination rate on medical questions dropped from almost 13% all the way down to just 1.6%. I mean, that is the kind of precision that opens up entirely new possibilities in areas like healthcare and scientific research. So how is it pulling all this off? Well, it boils down to a few major upgrades under the hood. First, a gigantic 400,000 token context window. That's big enough to analyze entire code bases in one go. We already talked about that real-time router that smartly delegates tasks. It's also 70% better at front-end design. It actually has a sense of aesthetics. Then there are its new agentic capabilities, which let it handle complex, multi-step jobs all on its own, kind of like a little autonomous agent. And just for fun, it has new personality modes, like a cynic or a robot, so you can totally customize how you talk to it. And here's the most important part, the thing that changes your role in all of this. GPT-5 is designed to take you from being a line-by-line coder to being an AI orchestrator. You're no longer just the builder. You're the architect, directing this incredibly powerful system. OpenAI is actually coining a new term for this, vibe coding. And no, this isn't about asking for a single function or a little code snippet. This is about describing the vibe of what you want. You can say, I want a calming meditation app with a minimalist feel, or build me a retro 8-bit task manager, and it will generate a complete functional application from that simple idea. It's about turning a vision into a reality almost instantly. And they're even laying out a path for you to master this. You start out as a white belt, using that vibe coding to spin up a beautiful front end. Next, you level up to yellow belt, where you tell the AI, okay, now add a back end, set up user accounts, connect it to a database, and finally you reach black belt, where you're just orchestrating the whole process, telling the AI to build, test, and even deploy a full-stack application completely on its own. It's a clear path from prompter to architect. Now, I know this all sounds like something out of science fiction, But here's the best part. You can access this power right now, today. OpenAI made some really amazing moves to get this into everyone's hands immediately. This might be the single biggest piece of news of the whole announcement. For the first time ever, a top-of-the-line, state-of-the-art AI model is available to everyone for free. You don't need to pay for a subscription, you don't have to get on a wait list. If you have a ChatGPT account, you already have GPT-5. This is democratizing advanced AI in a way we have never, ever seen before. So what about the paid plans? Well, the free tier gets you GPT-5 as your default model, which is incredible. If you're a heavy user, the Plus tier, for $20 a month, gives you much higher usage limits. And for the real power users and businesses, there's a new Pro tier that gives you unlimited access and an even more powerful version, GPT-5 Pro. It's super simple and clear. And if you're a developer who's building things with the API, it gets even better. OpenAI just cut the price in half compared to GPT-4o. It's now just $1.25 per million input tokens. Building with the most powerful AI on the planet just got ridiculously affordable. That's a huge incentive to go out and build something amazing.
So, what should you do right now? Here's your checklist. First, just go to ChatGPT and start typing. You're already using it. Then, pop into your GitHub Copilot settings and make sure it's enabled there. Take a project idea you've had on the back burner and try vibe coding a quick prototype. If you're using the API, check out the new mini and nano versions for even cheaper tasks. And yeah, go play with the new personality modes. The tools are all there waiting for you.
Okay, so with any launch this huge, the big debate always starts immediately. Is this a true revolution that changes everything, or is it just a really, really powerful evolution of what we already had? The community is already fired up and weighing in. And what's so interesting is that both sides are kind of right. On one side, you have people like the CEO of Box calling it a complete breakthrough, talking about seeing full apps built in minutes that used to take days. That feels revolutionary. But on the other side, you have a lot of developers who are calling it a massive practical evolution. They're saying it's just so much more pleasant and reliable to use that it feels more human. So it's less about doing totally new things and more about doing the things we could already do, but with a shocking new level of ease. And that really brings us to the core takeaway from all of this. If you remember one thing, remember this sentence. The true genius of GPT-5 isn't some crazy sci-fi leap into a new dimension. Its power is in its practicality. It takes all of that AI promise that always felt a little clunky or just out of reach, and it makes it easy, fast, and reliable enough for anyone to use every single day. So we're going to end with a question for you. For years, the bottleneck was always the tool. It was too hard, too slow, too unreliable. That bottleneck has just been completely shattered. The power is here, it's cheap, it's accessible, so the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?